Hi, everyone. In this Revizto learning session, I want to talk about issue management and what that means in design review process. So something I always like to focus on when getting users involved in Revizto is how to manage the issues or markups that come through in the issue tracker. So since Revizto is a very fluid tool, you're continuously running exports and running updates. Both to the 2D drawings and the 3D model, the question becomes, how do I format the issue tracker to respond to some of those updates that I want to review? So in the 2D workspace, I'll just start here in a sheet or a drawing. And say, for example, on my first floor space plan, right? So I have, the three options down here. I can look at the issue pins or stamps that have been generated on this sheet. And I can also start to look at the markups as well. And this is what I want to talk about today and what that means for the issue tracker and just maybe some techniques or strategy to organize these markups. So when I start to create markups on a drawing here in the 2D environment, in the issue tracker, these come in, as individual issues. If I start to look at these just one by one, I do have the option down here at the very bottom toolbar if I want to adjust the transparency. That's just going to give me a clear identifier of, if I zoom in, okay, this is what's being marked up. But maybe I want to move through it on a milestone basis, or maybe I want to move through this, per discipline, right? So that's where the presets and custom filters really play into how you want to, again, organize these markups on your drawings. So for example, in your custom filters and presets, for example, if I filter for current issues, right, all the issues that are open in progress or solved. So in 2D, I'll come in here and I'll say, well, you know what? Maybe some of these have been picked up. Maybe I only want to look at, open or in progress issues. I don't want to see any closed or, solved issues. So in the issue tracker, what I can do is set up filters based on how I want to see my markups displayed on my drawings. So for example, if I set up maybe a tagging system that I can filter for, again, maybe that's milestone based. I have, DD 50%, maybe SD 50%, whichever ones I'm observing through the project. Maybe, maybe these are discipline based. Maybe this is just one big design review with a date on it. And while it does give you a really good way to get to, a more concise list of issues. So for example, if I go to current issues, I see I have 166. If I filter down here for, my DD 50% issues, it's going to give me a more minimized list. So total issues of 14. But what this is also doing is, filtering out any markups on the drawings. Right, so back to my 2D workspace, right, I'm going to set up the sheet display for markups. And, say, for example, I only want to see all of the issues or markups that have been tagged DD 50%. But I also want a way to retain some of the past markups so I can quickly filter for SD 50%. Again, go back to 2D. And it looks like there really wasn't any comments on this drawing, for example, at that point or at that review. But what I want to see here is if I do have past markups, I want to make sure I can get back to those in a really clear way. Again, in the issue tracker, filtering those out not only gives you the issue list that's more concise and clear, but it's also filtering out your design review markups. And then just really quickly on how you would, format that. So in your custom filter tab over here, again, we can do this per tag if you wanted to customize a tag of, again, design milestone, discipline based. Maybe you're running some sort of collision detection. And what I do from here, say I select SD 50%. I want to save this filter. And that way, any of the issues that come into the issue tracker and I add a tag to these, or maybe there's a tag built into my stamp templates, that's eventually what I'd want to get to, is filtering out per tag. Another way we can do that is if I go to custom filter and say, for example, I want to use my stamp category, my stamp abbreviation. Again, I would sort of relate that to a discipline-based workflow, but you could also add a level to that of by tag, right? So maybe I want to see by stamp category of architecture, or maybe I want to filter out everything that pertains to mechanical and add a tag of that respective design milestone. So pretty flexible system. I just wanted to point out what the presets and custom filters are doing, not only in regards to your issue list, but also in the 2D drawings of Revizto as the design review unfolds.